What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today, we're going to be talking Minnesota coaching candidates. Ben Johnson has been fired, probably justifiably so. They missed the tournament, I think, every year he was there. So it's kind of only a matter of time coming. They kind of upset some teams this year, but again, missing the NCAA tournament is kind of your goal, is to make it. So justifiably so. I've got 10 names here. We're going to look at them. It sounds like there's already a name kind of rising to the top, but we're going to run down this list. I'll give you my thoughts. We'll eliminate some of these candidates. I'll tell you who I think they will hire and who I would hire. Let's go ahead and talk about it. First off, Brian Dutcher, San Diego State. I've seen his name thrown around here. I don't think he leaves from Minnesota. It doesn't really make sense. I'm really not even sure that's an upgrade for him. Despite being in the Mountain West, at San Diego State, he wins so much. It'd be kind of similar to like Mark Few leaving or, Randy Bennett at St. Mary's. I don't see that happening. Niko Medved, Colorado State. He's done a good job there. Sounds like right now he is kind of the number one guy on their radar. They're going to have to wait for him, see if he makes the tournament or not. But if he doesn't, this will probably come out even sooner if this is the guy. Ben McCollum at Drake. His name is getting thrown around for pretty much every job on this cycle. So it's going to come down to the pecking order as far as if he does get the offer, what is his pick? What is his pick of the litter there? Indiana, his name's getting thrown around there. He's one of the top two candidates there from what I've seen and heard. But Minnesota would probably be in the bottom of all the jobs open right now. You've got Indiana, you've got Iowa now, you've got NC State. So would he choose Minnesota? Probably only if that's his last opportunity. Will Wade McNeese State, same thing. I think he'll have kind of some picks there on what he would want to do. I'd probably put Minnesota last right now, even below NC State and Iowa. So I don't think he lands at Minnesota. Jerrod Calhoun at Utah State. He's won ball games there, similar to Niko Medved in the Mountain West. Is Minnesota a fit for him? Ben Jacobson, Northern Iowa. He's done good things there. This one's interesting to me. Porter Moser, Oklahoma. Are both of them looking for a split from each other? He's going to make the tournament now. That's not really a question. But there were some rumors during the year that he might be gone. And I think he's more of a fit for the Big Ten area, coming from Loyola Chicago. So I think that actually would be a nice fit if they could get him, but we'll see. Tom Crean, formerly at Indiana and Georgia, his name's been thrown around a little bit. Drew Valentine, Loyola Chicago, took over after Porter Moser left. He's done a pretty solid job there. Ryan Odom at VCU, he's had good runs previously at and not at VCU. He's won tournament games, so that's a name to watch. All right, so let's go ahead and break this list down. First off, Brian Dutcher, I don't think he leaves San Diego State, let alone from Minnesota. I think he would have his pick if he wanted to leave. So I don't see that happen. Tom Crean, don't see him coming back to coaching. I think he's probably done. I think he's currently on ESPN, so I don't see that happening. Next two names we're going to mark off, Ben McCollum and Will Wade. We're going to mark them off together. Again, I think they can get a better job if they want it, so I don't think that'll happen. Now, Ben McCollum might be a name to monitor. I think Will Wade is going to NC State. I might be wrong. Ben McCollum, if he's not the guy at Indiana, what happens? Because I think Iowa has a different guy in mind. So if he's not the guy in Indiana, does he land at Minnesota or does he just run it back at Drake? I don't know. All right, next name we're going to mark off, Jerrod Calhoun at Utah State. I think he's a good coach, but again, does he fit this area coming from Utah to Minnesota? That I don't know. Ben Jacobson, Northern Iowa. He's won a lot of ball games, but it was more previously than as of late. So I don't think he comes to Minnesota. Next name we're going to mark off, Drew Valentine at Loyola Chicago. He's done okay at Loyola, but again, he hasn't reached the heights near what Porter Moser had. So we got three names left here. Niko Medved has ties to the Minnesota area. Porter Moser, he's kind of proven he can win ball games more than pretty much anybody on this list as far as making runs in the tournament, minus Brian Dutcher. So would he come back to the area? I think that might not be a bad idea. And then you got Ryan Odom at VCU. I think the next thing I'm going to mark off is probably Ryan Odom. I think he is a good coach, but again, VCU guys that they have hired away, because VCU is usually a stepping stone job. You've got Shaka Smart, Mike Rhodes at Penn State. So it's kind of usually a stepping stone job. And is that kind of where they would go? Like as far as do they want to hire him with that question mark of these guys are kind of successful sometimes, other times they're not. So I've got two names here, Niko Medved and Porter Moser. I think they're going to hire Niko Medved. It sounds like that's almost confirmed at this point. Now, out of the guys on this list who I would hire, if you could somehow get Brian Dutcher, I would hire him, but I don't think you could. I'm really not 100% sure you could hire Porter Moser. Because is he going to leave Oklahoma? Things have been spotty there, but at the same time, you're in the SEC. You've got a lot of money at Oklahoma. It's a better job than Minnesota. You've got more resources. So I don't know, but it would be a fresh start as far as not being on the hot seat probably next year. So would that be a beneficial leave for both parties, Oklahoma and Porter Moser? Possibly. So if I could hire anybody on this list, it'd probably be Porter Moser because, again, Brian Dutcher I don't think is realistic. Porter Moser I think you could pull, though. And he's made runs at Loyola Chicago but hasn't had so much success at Oklahoma. But I think they go with Niko Medved, which is a solid get. He's won a lot of ball games with Colorado State, got them to the tournament. Would be a solid hire, I think, for Minnesota if they can get Niko Medved. And it sounds like that's probably where we're headed. But who would you hire if you're running this coaching search for Minnesota? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.